Of course, we didn't know how hard and complicated it was going to be. It's much harder to bring the apocalypse to a big major European city than to like a forest somewhere in like Oregon.
Now, this movie was so much fun. I was a big fan of the original, but I feel like this movie made the right choice in taking the more anthological, whatever, approach in expanding the world. Can you tell me a little bit about that decision and where that freed you up creatively?
Well, that was an idea that came from Netflix and the producers of the original movie. And we thought that it was a very smart, original way to take this story instead of just following the original in a linear fashion to create this, as you were saying, this anthology or this mosaic that would allow to see this global event seen through the eyes of other people from other cultures and other countries, which was very, very on point with this kind of creature that the movie has, that it has like this such a subjective component to it, such a personal experience that if you you travel with this experience to different cultures, different countries, you can get a different kind of horror story.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about what Barcelona brings to the story that the original set in the US does not necessarily include.
Well, I mean, the original is very much a suburban and a rural movie. And we were adamant that this had to be like a very urban movie, that this had to take place in a city. We didn't want to repeat the visuals of the original movie. We wanted this to be a very different experience, and I wanted it to feel very different. So we were very adamant that it had to be set in a city. Of course, we didn't know how hard and complicated it was going to be. It's much harder to bring the apocalypse to a big major European city than to like a forest somewhere in like Oregon. But I think it was worth it. I think that the pain of the production was worth it because it's on the screen. And we are from Barcelona. So for us, it was very exciting to explore the city and not to focus on the cliched places that we've all seen and all the postcard places, but to really go to the places that the locals know and that people who are not from Barcelona may discover from this movie, and that I think that add a layer of richness to the movie that it wouldn't have otherwise.
Absolutely. And I loved expanding on the lore, too, of the creatures, of the monsters. We do learn more about them, get some questions answered in this film. Can you tease for us a little bit about what people are going to get from the monsters?
Ooh, that's a hard question without entering into spoiler territory. But I think we start like honing into how they operate and why do they express themselves in such different way depending on who is in proximity to them. But there's still like a big debate between the origin, between like more of a spiritual or religious interpretation of it and more of a rational scientific view of the event. So there's still like territory to explore. There's still some questions and we are slowly building and hopefully eventually it will all be revealed.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Bird Box if there weren't more questions than answers at the end of the film, right?
Yes.
Well, what is one thing that you want people to know before going in to watch the movie? Is there anything that you want them to look out for or anything that you want them to go in with open eyes?
Well, I think that this is a movie that benefits from not knowing a lot about it. I think it's better to go see it knowing as little as possible. I think that the movie has some interesting twists, and I think that Netflix has done a really good job of not revealing them in the trailers. And we're very grateful to them for that. So I personally, sometimes when I want to watch a movie, I won't watch the trailer. If I know I'm going to watch it, I just don't watch the trailer because I don't want it to. So I would say don't watch the trailer, just play on July 14th. And if you want to rewatch the original Bird Box first to get a refresh of the mythology, I think that's probably not a bad idea. But also the movie stands on its own, so you don't even need to have watched the original to enjoy this one.
Going blindfolded is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. The film is fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I
Thank
love
you.
talking with you today. So thank you.